Great to be here in California, in Los Angeles, with people who'd like to do everything out of the ordinary. I'm glad to be here tonight and talking to you. Kid Gupta is the name that I'm known by as an author and a speaker, and that name was actually given to me by one of the marketing and publishing person that I was working with. When I wrote my first book, Break the Ordinary, I took my book to this publisher, and I told him, what does he think about it? And his first response was that I would never read your book. And I looked astonished at him and I said, why? He said, because you have your full name and it's an Indian name, and I have this trouble every time I have to bring an overseas author into the US. People don't know the name, and you have an Indian name. I could only imagine what he would say when he looked at that full-size picture of mine on the front cover of the book. And I told him there's nothing much I can do about the Indian face on the book, but if you'd like, we can definitely chop off the first few letters of my name and make it easy. And for those who can look me up, and also people to read my book. So that's how the name came about. I am a writer and a speaker. I write in the area of personal development, which is something that I look at more from the perspective of my own personal growth. And I've been given different titles. I've been called a motivational guru as one title, which is I do not like to have, because I think motivation is monkey business. I say that because I heard Alan Watts one time say that, kindly let me save you or you will drown, said the monkey putting up a fish safely up the tree. And I think motivation is something similar. Motivation is something that doesn't come to you when someone else does it for you, or someone else tries to guide you. I believe motivation, which is the origin of the word, comes from Latin, which is movere, is something that means to move, to take action. There's a precursor to motivation, I believe, that is important to anyone who would like to take action, to get in motion. And that precursor is inspiration. And as one of my great teachers, Dr. Wayne Dyer, who had a profound impact, who came in my life through his teaching and had helped me transform a lot, once said that inspiration is not something which comes and goes. It's not that inspiration is there one moment and the next moment is gone. It's something that dwells within you at every moment. It remains unchanged. Inspiration, which is the origin of the word, is also Latin inspirato, which means in spirit. So when some desire comes from within you, is born within you, only then you have the desire of getting in motion to take action. If you look at your personal life or any of your relationships, no one really likes to be told what they should do. If you tell your parents to change their diet or do something different, start exercising, it is something that they will not start doing unless they have that inspiration. That desire comes from within, where once they start living it from within, only then they would take action. And look at yourself as well. Nobody likes to be told what to do. I've been asked why I do what I do, talking to audiences and writing in this area of personal development. For over a decade or so, I lived the ordinary life. I lived the life of paying my bills, accumulating wealth, accumulating stuff. That is something that many of us do. That's what many of us have been conditioned to do as well. And there was a point where I had this desire of doing something, going just beyond this ordinary life that I was living, and go beyond that and do something that was, I call as more of my calling, more of what was in the spirit, in my spirit that I wanted to do. So I decided to make a profound change, a dramatic change, for which I was labeled a fool. And I am completely fine with that title. I'm okay being foolish because, as William Blake put it, that a fool who persists in his folly would eventually become wise. The wisdom hasn't come yet, but I do believe that, yeah, it's okay for me to be crazy. It's okay for me to be foolish. And I'm not saying this to put down the ordinary. Ordinary is fine. Ordinary, if it works for you, if it's something that is your desire to live an ordinary life and you are happy living it, by all means, anybody should do it. I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me. I heard this quote the first time in the opening of the movie, The Departed. And the movie I've watched like countless number of times. I believe the author of this quote is unknown. But the key words in this quote are three key words: the I, product, and environment. I, which is, of course, self-explanatory. The product equals the result. And environment, which is everything except the I. My personal journey started more than 10 years ago, somewhere 7,000 miles or more away from here, where I was sitting in the living room having a discussion with my dad that if I want to do good in life, if I want good results in life, then I need to work hard. And I complied to the request that was made to me, that, or what I was told, that good results are achieved when someone works hard. So I worked hard. After graduating from high school, a few years later, I again had a very similar conversation saying if I wanted to get good results in life, then I should work hard. Then I complied and worked hard to getting into an engineering school. 4 years of engineering school, I worked hard again to get good grades so I can graduate with distinction or honors. A few years later, I again had a conversation, get a good education in the United States, and then I have to work hard. So I worked hard to get good results, good grades, and also perform better in on my tests. Fast forward a few more years after graduating from the University of Massachusetts with a niche degree in plastics engineering, I decided to obviously go and work in the corporate world. I did that, and the results that I was getting from my job, which was in the form of paycheck and recognition in the company that I was working for, all of that were the results that I was getting, for some reason, started creating a void inside. A void inside me that was hard to fill in. But I still thought that perhaps I should get different results. If I changed a job, I would perhaps get some different results in the form of a better paycheck, a different title, a different job responsibility would perhaps be different results, which is what I thought I was looking for. So I tried that for the next few years, and I continued working from one corporate job to another. But the void still remained unfilled. I still desired something different. In search of getting good results, I quit my corporate job and decided to become a young entrepreneur. So I made the investment of everything that I had saved after working in a corporate job into buying a business. And in search of getting good results, I thought that would perhaps be the best decision. And I was, in fact, getting results as well. I was making good financial returns on the investment that I had made, traveling the world and getting more experience, expanding the business, things were going, quote unquote, well, which a lot of people would say were good enough. But the results that I was getting were not good enough because the void was still getting deeper and deeper. All the accumulations that I was making from the money that I was having at that time kept making the void inside of me bigger and bigger. And then one day I got a phone call from back home in India, finding out that my dad, to whom I'd spoken 12 hours ago, just passed away. He went to go exercise at the park, go run at the park, and his heart was not in a good condition at that time, and he was totally unaware of it. And he died by himself on a park bench at around 4 in the morning. It was a time that made me realize that what I had become was all as a result of what my environment gave me. Whether it was the grades in the school, whether it was the accolades or the degree that I had accumulated by going to an engineering school and getting higher degree in a university here, whether it was the title, the paycheck, the position that I had in several jobs that I had held in more than 5 or 10 years, I realized that the tune that was being played, that I was dancing to, was on the outside. But there was a tune that was within me as well, that I was completely ignoring, that I needed to follow, I needed to dance to. And that is exactly true for every single one of us. Every one of us has a tune that is being played from within. You all have passions. You all have desire of going beyond the ordinary, living a life where you are fully content. But sadly, many of us have conditioned ourselves. We have programmed our brains to think that what the world tells us, what everyone on the outside tells us, is what we're supposed to dance to, is what we're supposed to follow, is how our life should be. Oftentimes, I've heard people say that if I can suggest to them what field they should go to if they want to become a independent, self-employed, my only answer is that there's that desire or passion within that you have to ask yourself. Don't go and ask the whole world what you're good at. You know what you're good at. You know where your strength lies. What is it that you are really, truly passionate about doing? The misconception is a lot of people think that, oh, if search engine optimization business is booming right now, let me get into that business. If people are making millions of dollars in creating apps, then they would like to get into that business. The part they're missing is, what is it, the key strength? What is it that you have to offer that can really make a difference in other people's life? That's what you really need to go after.